Seems as if they have lost those spawns towards the back, and it will be seemingly Connor to come around the back and try and do something for his team. Looking towards the rotation over towards P3. Looks like Singularity the first one's there, and they'll be more than happy with this lead already. A very, very good start from them.
Yeah, I was saying, I was impressed with Obtained's hardpoint so far, especially after their prior win versus 3G that we just caught on stream. And, well, their rotation there, not so great, but it felt for a moment there like Harry was going to remedy it. Unfortunately, it isn't to be, as Denza wins that one-on-one against Hicksy. And Singularity, I mean, after what was a great Sheds hold, seemed to be just coming out of the gates, swinging in this game. They have control of this Rocks hardpoint. They're looking to maintain that control as well. You've got a player in the mid-map, peculiarly enough, not inside the tower, but still mid-map control is enough for him to be satiated. Obtained now trying to wake their way in as Harry picks up 2. The second with a Semtex, Callum comes in, and there we go, Obtained. Going to break for the last 30 seconds, but Singularity, I think, will be more than happy with the time they've got off this hill, and especially considering the spawns they hold for that next hill right now, they'll be content. Oh
yeah, they'll be more than content and happy with the side of spawns that they have for Garage, as you did mention, but they're still fighting for the scrap time as well. They're going to limit Obtained to only, about 15 seconds of clean time here. Let's see what Callum can do, though. He's the one that's going to be on the push and looking to disrupt this solid Singularity line. But we've seen a couple of times it's not quite as easy to push through that front door. Harry looking for a route all the way around. Warehouse control from Singularity as well. If you're Obtained, you're looking for the flank. Harry and Connor finding kills though, but Detain and Denza answering back with the ones of their own. Callum now inside the hill, finds Denza. Push coming back through from the other side for Singularity. That's fine for them. And honestly, this is the thing with this hill, as we were discussing beforehand. Which side do you want to keep a hold of? I mean, do you want to keep a hold of the side that we can see Singularity are on now, as it is the rotation over towards P5? Or do you want those spawns deep locked in for Garage and picking up as many points as you possibly can, but with 20 seconds to go, you want to be Singularity. You want to be on the side of that P5 hill. That's where they are now, picking up points momentarily with a 70-point lead. They'll be more than happy with how this hardpoint has unfolded so far.
Yeah, absolutely. I think this is the key thing here, is even though Obtained do get a rather large chunk of time, their first rather large chunk of time obtained in this game so far, again, I really feel like Singularity just come out on top, because now they have control of those spawns for next. And, you know, as we saw in that Obtained 3G matchup early on, I mean, look, Hangar is such an easy hill to hold. I feel like it really is such a good hill to hold for Singularity, and you're maybe starting to see that here as Obtained now filter in through little Bidz in this power position that's so key to holding onto this Hangar hardpoint. But these first 2 kills go in Singularity's way. Detain and Denza, the double Ds of Singularity, able to pick up a couple of kills. Denza just continuing, picks up 3 really nice kills again, with Bidz covering that mid-map. Singularity having no qualms whatsoever about holding onto this hill. It might turn out to be a full 60, and if you're Obtained, really, I mean, you just concentrate on getting that next rotation.
You have to, really, don't you? You have to make sure you get control of up top tower, and I mean, they're coming out of the first rotation after having such a stellar performance on this map previously. 100 points plus down. Not the best position to be in if you are Obtained yet. Singularity will be more than happy with their haul after the first 5 hills yet. Callum trying to step it up here as is Harry in the middle of the map, and they will start to find some kills, but it was there from Singularity. Absolutely nobody to answer that question. Obtained will happily get there. Probably easiest time they've had so far throughout this game. Still, around 90 points is the difference, and towards those rotations, it does belong to Obtained, but still 40 seconds to go here on P1.
Good stuff from Singularity so far in this game. You take a look at the scoreline. I mean, we were teeing this up to be a close one, and Obtained to be the better hardpoint team of the 2, and that just hasn't been the case so far. Singularity seems to have improved their hardpoint game from week 1 to week 2, and it's not just that as well. I look at the Slaying department. Denza just continues now, another 3 streak for him, and every single player on the team is positive. Detain the least so, but still doing such a good job right now. Singularity just maintaining this commanding lead. Obtained haven't really been able to get anything going, but maybe that'll change here as we go towards the shed. You see Obtained in early control, and Singularity, they're spawning out. So this could be a good time for Obtained to turn the tides of this game.
Yeah, they need to do something quickly. And that time has ticked over the 200-point mark for Singularity. Good hold so far, though. 3 kills in their favor for Obtained. Make that 4. That's a clean hold. Going to start stretching their legs a little bit, spreading their wings towards this next hill. Still a lot of time to play for here over towards P2, though, and SG are trying to push in from field side and through the warehouse as well. Maple just setting himself up very, very nicely. Bidz not able to make the push through. This has been a very good hold by Obtained, if I'm honest with you, but Hicksy is going to be able to hold it down. Nicely played. Maple and Detain go down. That's nearly, I say nearly, a full 60. Going to be coming out of Obtained by the time they pick up this final 15 or so. So nicely done, but we head back over towards P3. It's full lock for Singularity, and this is where they really did stretch that lead last time round. And stretching that lead this time will result in a win. 45 points for them to get a hold of, and this map number 1 will be theirs.
Well, Singularity, they just need 40 points here off the back of this hill, and of course there's more than enough time to get here, but Callum trying to come in through behind, trying to play spoiler. Unfortunately, that doesn't work out as he does fall to Detain. Detain have got to break this hard point. Now he comes sliding through, picks up one, looking for a second. Unfortunately, Detain. Oh no, Detain. That's a bit dirty. Puts some extra bullets into the body. He lets them know, absolutely. Singularity, why wouldn't you? You take a look at this scoreline. It's almost dominant, I would say. Just 10 points away from taking this victory. Denza providing those support kills, and Obtained, they just cannot get into this hard point whatsoever. The support kills are just too much for them to handle, and despite Connor picking up a 2-piece, it's just not enough. Singularity, they end it on the second rotation on P3. A really great performance to kick this series off.
Yeah, I mean, that's as comfortable as you would like to have in that very first map, isn't it? Cartel goes over towards them, and they will happily take that sort of fight. And a convincing one. You know, for me, that comes down to just that rotation from third to fourth in the first hill, and then holding it so well on the fifth as well. I mean, those final 3 hills on that first rotation just give them that massive bumper that they wanted, and ultimately puts them in a fantastic position for the rest of the map. But there you go. I mean, what else is there to say? I mean, it wasn't a drubbing, but it was more than comfortable for Singularity, especially considering how well we've seen Obtained play on this map previously in the last series. It sort of offers up some questions, doesn't it? How good is SNG? But Obtained maybe just not up to scratch when it comes to these top teams. That's the question.
Yeah, I think, specifically taking a look at that Cartel hardpoint, I think what really did it for Singularity, you take a look at that very first rotation, right? I mean, there just wasn't a rotation from P2 to P3 from Obtained. They essentially just gave it up to Singularity. Maybe they didn't expect Singularity to be there that early, but still, it was a really good rotation from SNG from P2 to P3. And I think, where Obtained did get some modicum of control, very rarely was it a full 60, and I think that was the big issue.
Yeah.
Singularity were able to apply the pressure.
It was once they put up a big chunk of time. It was on over towards the sheds on the second rotation was the only time that we really seen them put in a lot of time. So if you're Obtained, you're a little bit disappointed with that one, but we head over towards S&D, a very different game mode, of course. I'm curious, what was the actual map that we're moving on to?
I can check. I should know this. I should check.
Moscow, okay. So we're going over towards Moscow.
Ooh. Okay.
So it's a different S&D map. We didn't see too much from Obtained when it came down to Miami, so hopefully we see a bit more when it comes down to Moscow. It's a very, very different map, of course, but I wonder. We do need to see a bounce back here because heading over towards Control, Singularity looked very, very good on that during the Astro Community Series the other night. So interested to see if Obtained can take this S&D, because if they don't, they will be staring down the barrel of that losers bracket. So if any of you guys don't know, up until this point, there was no double elimination. It's just single elim up until this point. This is the last game of the night. I don't think, well, we won't be covering anymore because I've got to walk the dog. It's as simple as that. She's a late night walk. She ain't happy. But honestly, I think, looking at these two teams, both of them could make a run. But if you are, once again, this Obtained team, you're running the Singularity once again early on. You're either running the Singularity or House Tarth. It's unfortunate on the seeding side of things, and maybe they would fancy their chances against some of the other top 8 teams in Europe. But right now, up against Singularity, things not looking good after map number 1. But I don't want to jump the gun too early. It is, as said, only map number 1. But the S&D is, for me, pretty essential.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. So this is going to be an early prediction for the season. Last season, if you take a look at how Modern Warfare actually went in terms of the compilations of teams that we had and really how everything looked when we looked at our top 8 and top 16 and such, there were really only ever 3 teams that felt like they were above everybody else last year, right? And then there was always this sort of 4th or 5th team that were competing. And last year, that was Team War, Singularity, and Connect 5, as it then was. And then there was obviously, you had teams like Train Hard who could maybe come up and get top 3 and BDS and such, and teams like that. I really feel like this year is going to be very similar from just this early impression. And I know it is very early to make a call like this, But I think you look at these teams such as House Taff, which I think has just been a wonderful surprise to see them coming out the gate swinging this early on. I'm really happy for a team like that because, you take a look at that team composition and there's something about having this veteran talent with this new blood that meshes so well together early on. And then, of course, you've got this Bullfrog roster and Singularity, like we're seeing right now. And I really feel like we might be in for a situation again where these kind of teams are just maybe a slight cut above the rest, and then you've got these teams sort of competing to make these upsets to get in for that 4th place and such. Again, it is too early to call, but I don't know. We will see. Right now, though, from that hard point, Singularity, they looked like the better team.
Yeah, they definitely did look like a better team, but I think I agree with you in the sense of that we could be leaning towards something that happened last year, where there was a skill gap, if you like, in between maybe the top 3 or 4 teams and then everybody else. But I mean, look, let's wait and see, because we still have a lot of Cold War to go, and we really have only dipped our toe into the season so far. So I'm interested to see how things do develop. When roster changes coming in, etc., things do tend to change up. But I mean, look, it was. I don't want to say it was dominance from day dot for SNG and War last year. I mean, they were there or thereabouts, weren't they? They were always threatening. So who's to say that one of these teams like Obtained can't just find their stride, if you like, and start going with it. But at this moment in time, it's very, very hard to say. Both these two teams, maybe at different stages of learning the game. We're seeing changes all the time. There'll be a change in meta, probably once a month at this point. There'll be a change in spawns whilst the game is fine-tuned. And I don't feel as if we'll find ourselves with our definitive top 2-3 teams in the European Challenger scene until probably January, February. I think that's probably what you're looking at realistically. But I think, it's fair to assume that we'd have something similar to what we had last year. Absolutely. But I just hope we get to see challengers across the pond facing up against each other. I hope we get the NA side and the EU side, because I need to see it happen this year. That's all I'm going to say. But we're moving into the S&D. We're moving into the S&D, and we will not be able to see it on screen, of course. So we will just chat through it, what's going on in the game. But Obtained need this one.
Yeah, they do indeed. So again, for those of you who are new to the stream, why we're not showing S&D, simply a case of hiding these guys' strategies. Of course, Search and Destroy being the deepest game mode in terms of strategies across the board. So you guys will be able to see KDs and the scoreline and such like that. But unfortunately, you guys will not be able to see the gameplay as it unfolds. But what to expect on a map like Moscow, Search and Destroy? I mean, from early impressions at least, it seems like teams do not want to go towards B. And the simple reason for that, more than anything, is just because it's so deep set into the defensive spawn, right? I mean, it is so hard to make those kind of pushes work.
If anyone else is distracted by AJ just knocking Pulev out right now, I can sort of understand it. Wow, Jesus, my mind got sparked. I mean, look, it's the S&D. We don't get a cast. I'm not paying that much attention.
That's
to
true.
It.
That is true.
Singularity winning round number 1, though.
Well, good start here from Singularity again on the defense, and unfortunately we can't really describe too much of it to you. But I kind of want to bring that conversation back to what we were just talking about, to try and make it still COD-centric and still a Marvel-centric for this Search and Destroy. In terms of this NA versus EU and even APAC, right? Because APAC is in the conversation this year, just as it kind of was last year with Renegades, where at the start of last year, I think Renegades ended up placing top 8 at the Minnesota launch weekend open. And then obviously none of the teams from different parts of the globe got to face each other apart from Singularity moving over to America. This year, how, from first impressions from North American teams and sort of European teams, from last year, I felt like European squads were actually better at the game. And I felt like that would have been translated if those teams were to face each other. Are we going to see the same sort of thing this year? Do you think it's going to be a year where those top European squads are going to be slightly better than North Americans? Or do you think that maybe this introduction of a few of those CDL players that didn't make the cut might change things in terms of this NA versus EU divide?
It's always just such a hard discussion to have without them playing each other on LAN, isn't it? That's the thing. Mm-hmm. Yes, okay, early on last year, Europe did look better. They absolutely did. But I just I can. It's hard to make a reasonable argument because, I mean, who's to just say that the top end of the European side were not just so much stronger than everybody else, and that's why they were made to look so good. Like them, I don't know. I think it's very, very difficult to sort of establish whether that it was the case. I mean, look, based on what we've seen early on in Europe last year, I absolutely believe Europe were the better side of things, especially on the challenger side of things. But when it comes down to this year, we need to figure that out over time, and hopefully we do get an opportunity to figure it out. Because I mean, COVID-19 is unfortunately going to probably curtail that. However, Singularity 2-0 up in the Search and Destroy now in a 2 versus 1 against Connor. And Obtained's first Search and Destroy of the series. Once again, not going the way they want it.
Yeah, I mean, when it came down to that game 5 between these two teams previously, and the losers round 1 of last event, the last Challengers Cup, it did come down to that game 5, and again, Singularity, they did come out on top, and I believe they actually won the first Search and Destroy as well. So, I mean, this is kind of par for the course at this point. You know, again, it kind of does hammer home, and this is again just, I guess, me saying this off the back of what I was told in regards to Obtained Hardpoint. But to me, that map was paramount to them winning this series. Not just that one, of course. There is going to be a map 4, but nonetheless, you know, they need to win this Search and Destroy, and there is a good start. To be fair, the 1-on-1 is won, so first round towards Obtained. So a little bit of breathing room to work with. But again, you know, that hard point, big win for Singularity to take in this series.
Yeah, huge for them. Huge for them. And I mean, just for me, though, I think just from what we've seen from Singularity so far, for how good they looked the other night as well in the Astro Cup, I think Obtained really do need to steal away one of these Search and Destroys very, very quickly, because if we go into a control, it depends what map it is, of course, but Singularity have looked very nice when it comes down towards this control. But my goodness me, this has been a really good round for Obtained. They found 3 kills very, very quickly. All of a sudden, Maple is left in a 1 versus 4, and he has a scope to his name. Oh, whoa. I mean, we nearly seen something pretty crazy.
Oh, man, these snipers, they are insane in this game. So insane. Oh, wish we would have seen that. I mean, to be fair, even if we would have seen something special there, it wouldn't have exactly translated to the stream, because nobody can see the Search and Destroy, which is a massive shame. But nonetheless, doesn't happen in the end. And look at Connor right now, right? Across the last 2 rounds, he's got 5 kills. Pretty insane from him.
Well, it's a good bounce back from Obtained. I'm curious if they can get anything going here. I feel as if, you know, maybe I'm leaning on the Search and Destroy meaning like so necessary here for Obtained, but I don't know, man. That map number 1 was just,
yeah, it was.
I think, you know, a map, you know, favoritism, etc., does come into it, and what maps you're good at, and how you feel in the series, whose pick it is, etc., etc. But when it's that kind of comfortable, it's like, is it just about maps? Is it just about what map you're playing? Is it just about you being comfortable? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think you're necessarily wrong, right? Of course, there is the argument to bring into it that there is a sort of knock to the headspace, as it were, as well, right? You lose a map like that, and you don't really have any control in the game whatsoever. It really can kind of mess with you in a way. So, yeah, absolutely. I think this is a must-win map for Obtained, not only because of the fact that obviously they would be 2-0 down in the series, but it would be a bounce back from that hard point, which I think they most desperately need. And I really wish you guys could see this. I wish we could see it right now from the Denza, this 1 versus 2. For whatever reason, we can't see it at the moment. But still, you know, as I was saying, yeah, this is really important for me, at least for Obtained. Maybe I'm putting too much emphasis on this. I don't know, but there it is, actually. So we didn't get to see the 1 versus 2, but Denza does pull it off very, very well. And not to give away any strategies or anything, but it was very beautifully played. Ends up just essentially waiting for the last 2 players in the 1 versus 2 to run past him, plant the bomb, gets the kills, I presume, and then gets the defuse afterwards. So the Denza we know and love has shown up to play.
Into the next round we go. I don't really have much to say. It's like
it's hard because these guys cannot see anything. It's
you
so
guys
tough.
can't say anything. I mean, I'm down for letting these guys watching the score, but that's absolutely fine. It's looking like a Singularity win at this point up.
Okay. All right, Maple. Again, you guys don't get to see this, but oh man, I just love it when you get a little snap kill like that. Yet another Singularity win on the board here. And again, folks, if you're just joining us on the stream, 1-0 down are obtained in this series. So Singularity win this, they go 2-0 up, and it would have to be a reverse sweep from a roster like Obtained. And to be fair, right, I would say it would be incredible to see a reverse sweep from this Obtained lineup. I wouldn't want it because simply then we wouldn't be able to cast a Game 5 Search and Destroy. But nonetheless, it would be absolutely epic to see that kind of storyline, especially after what happened last week. Of course, for those of you uninformed, losers round 1. That's where these two teams faced off in the first Challengers Cup of the season. After Singularity, I believe, were knocked out by House Taff, and Obtained came down as well. And it was Singularity who came out on top of that battle. So far, Singularity coming out on top of this one as well.
It's looking very, very good for a Singularity win here.
Oh.
I'm saying not going to get one back though, so 4-3 now. 4-3.
Seems like these guys are really just trading off rounds at the moment, right? I mean, the first two went the way of Singularity, and the second two to Obtained, and then the next two to Singularity after that as well. So maybe we might just be par for the course here for Obtained to make their way through for this next round. Who knows? Of course, they're going to want that, as we always say in Call of Duty, the difference between 5-3 and 4-4 is a big one. Really puts you back against the wall when you know you have to win every single round from here on out. That's not a position Obtained want to find themselves in here as they make their way on the defense. Singularity with this bomb. Unfortunately, hasn't worked out for them, and there it is, Obtained. They managed to get 3 kills, leave Maple in a 1 versus 4, and while you never really want to count out Maple, he has a sniper rifle, and although it's a very good weapon, it's not good enough to win a 1 versus 4. Almost snaps onto the second kill after getting the first, but nothing to be found, and hey, would you look at that? It's another 2 rounds in a row for Obtained, 4-4.
It has swung on its head a little bit, this one, hasn't it? Back and forth between these two, but it's always been SNG somewhat in the lead.
Now you need really Obtained to break this if they want to tie this series up. Of course, as we've said, these guys, they are trading rounds at this point, 2 for 2 every single time. Can Obtained break that? That's the big question here in this search and destroy. So they are now on the offense.
But we're stalemate over towards A. Not something you usually get. Tends to be a case of losing at least some bodies before you get in there, but it's actually a 4v4 with the bomb down. Obtained, can they hold it down though?
Trades have already been made in this one. 3 versus 3 here. 25 seconds left on the clock for Singularity to make this retake happen. Oh, Maple comes round, picks up the first kill. Harry, though. Oh my God, Maple. No way. No way does he do this. You guys can't see it, but Maple, he's hopped on the bomb. He's looking for the Ninja Defuse. Connor, he's not going to check it inside. Maple's going to get the Ninja Defuse. We can't see whether he's got it or not, but he absolutely has. No doubt about it. A Ninja Defuse for Maple. And a 1 versus, what is that? I think he got 2 kills actually prior to that as well. So beautifully played from Maple, and that's why we rate that guy so highly.
Very, very nicely done. Snipe for it was the highlight, though. Singularity 1 round away from tying. Not tying this one up at all. Sorry, my head is in the bin now. It's getting a touch late. My sleeping pattern is sort of hoping for a 3-0.
Oh man, you and me both.
The thing is, well, man, I mean, at this point, you know, like the wife's on night shift. That's why I'm big chilling in the kitchen right now doing this. However, if she's on night shift, I'm kind of on her. Like, she comes in at like 6 a.m. and I have to get up then to look after the dog because the dog starts kicking off. Oh my goodness. It's going to be a rough one, ladies and gents, but here we go. Continuing into this one, it's looking as if this is going to go around number 11. I feel as if this is a must-win for Obtained, though. I've said it time and time again.
Oh man, imagine. I mean, like, I know that at this level, really, this kind of play getting into your head, it doesn't really affect you as much as it normally would if you're a low-level team, perhaps top 16. Of course, Obtained are no amateurs by any means, but still, if you go to round 11 and you end up losing, especially being 5-4 up, especially after that hard point as well, I think it really is going to get to a team like this. We shall see, though, as it is going to be an A assault from Singularity. They've got all the numbers on this bomb. Unfortunately, Hicksy has the better of one player at least. The trade comes in, though, so now 3 versus 3. This bomb going down, it's up to Obtained to react.
Oh my goodness. It's now 1 versus 3 for Maple. He should be dead. He should be dead. Found one. Can he find the second? Oh. No, he cannot. He's going to go down. Obtained are going to get the search and destroy done. Prolonging my night. Inevitable, really, wasn't it? No, I'm actually going to go, because I just noticed my camera, we've got 3 very shiny lights in the background. I'm actually going to go turn those off. But everyone can listen to what you thought of that search and destroy, because I know how much you want to break it down.
Oh, do you want me to break down the search and destroy? It's Harry and Connor, man. It's as simple as that. Harry and Connor, they are so good. You take a look at their stats on that game. I mean, it was like they were both in double figures. At the end of it, I think Harry and Connor might have got combined 25 in that search and destroy. So super well played from those 2 players, and really well played, I think, overall from Obtained. Great clutch factor. Kind of unfortunate there for Singularity, really. I think there was a couple of moments in that game where we saw clutches come in. Denza, although you guys didn't get to see it, actually performed an epic 1 versus 2 clutch where he essentially waited for a couple of players to pass by. Maple as well. I mean, you guys did actually get to see that clutch thanks to the beauty that is Connie here on our production team, which is a 1-man team. And yeah, so it kind of is a tough one for Singularity when you make those clutch moments happen and it just doesn't work out for you. But I think really, if anything, that's just Obtained playing a really good team game here in the search and destroy.
Yeah, I think there was a couple of occasions where clutches had to come on through. But all the first blood's coming in for them as well. I don't know if that's just, down to the nature of the map as well, specifically. But there you go. That's the S&D win that I was sort of telling that, they really did need. But going to the control, you see a good performance from Obtained in the control previously on Garrison. What are we going into this time specifically?
It is Garrison. It is Garrison.
It is Garrison as well. So things have looked really good for them on Garrison. I think, even though that it took to the point where they had to get over into that round number 5, they looked likely to win an attack. I think had you given them maybe another stab at it, they probably would have done it. But
yeah.
I think based on what I've seen from their attack-sided play, it wasn't too bad at all. Maybe concentrating on the spawns a little too much. I think it's hard to say. Different teams have different tactics to how to win these attacks. Somebody's going to have to come up with something different to try and win the attacks. So I'm interested to see how things go on Garrison here, because S&G being notoriously good at control as well when I have seen them. I think I've seen them probably win every single game of control I've casted over them anyway. So I'm intrigued to see if they can keep that one up. And that's why I was saying that I felt as if Obtained really did need that to destroy, just due to how strong S&G have typically looked on control. So let's see how things go. We're ticking over to
oh man, you're in for a good time. You're in for a good time, man.
Great time. Yeah.
I don't envy you, put it that way. I mean, to be fair, it's nice when your dog's just being really active, unless you want to go to sleep, at which point.
Yeah, not so much by the time this one's done at like 12:15. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
What has just happened?
What has just happened? Yeah. Oh god, the lobby. Connor has been kicked out of the lobby, so I hope this isn't indicative of any problems. We'll talk about the control then. I mean, what you kind of spoke about for a second there that Obtained when they just played 3G on this very map mode combination, right? I mean, they had a really good attempt at making their way forwards. Oh, OBS crash. Has OBS crashed? Okay, are we back live? Okay, right. I don't know if we can be heard, so we'll act as if we can be heard, and I apologize if we can't. But yeah, so as I was saying, we talk about OBS. Talk about Obtained on their offensive push, and they were really good at it, right? And I think you compare where they're at now in terms of their opponents. I think 3G and Singularity are two very different beasts. I think that's going to be the key thing here. Although Obtained were very close to cracking the big problem that was their offensive pushes, that might not be as easy of a task to complete here, I think, against Singularity, especially as you just said, with the fact that Singularity are such a proficient control team.
So I think we might have lost you for just a second, everybody in the stream, but hopefully we're back and ready to go into the control. I think we had an issue with the COD as well, but hopefully we're nearly ready to go back in. I think Colin is going to actually be annoyed at me. Connie's going to be annoyed at me for saying this, but I wonder if it's worth us going for a break whilst we do figure out what the issue was, unless he's back in the game. So lovely stuff. Lovely stuff. So we should be ready to go into the control very, very shortly. I'm wondering, as you said, if Obtained have got it in them to pull off those attacking rounds. I think that's the problem, isn't it? It's not so much going up against 3G, depending on how you're going up against, and that's no disrespect to 3G, or intentional anyway. You're going up against S&G this time, so nearly rounds are not going to be enough. They're going to have to be solid, and we know that S&G are really going to offer a lot in terms of the defensive side of things and the attacking side of things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
but based on what we've seen from Obtained on this map was good, though.
Yeah, no, I think that's the thing, right? I think as we said, and even though I've just said that this is a very different beast with Singularity and comparing them to 3G, Obtained, their problem wasn't the setup. They were setting up really well. They were getting themselves in a almost perfect position to just pincer onto B, because it was A that I think they were able to get pretty much straight away, or vice versa. I don't know the points just yet. It's early game. But it was that latter control point where they just couldn't execute it quite well for whatever reason. It was just getting that first kill that they couldn't quite do. As soon as one domino fell, the rest of the team kind of collapsed and they couldn't work it. So maybe things change here for Obtained. Again, though, it's a very different team. I mean, we haven't actually seen, you might have done in the Astro Cup, but we haven't actually seen these guys in Singularity play Garrison Control yet.
I didn't know. I seen them play Checkmate,
which they are very good at. You and I know that because we got to see them last week on that very map take the first offensive control round of the year for us too. So we will see. Maybe Singularity aren't having a good time on this map. We really don't know at the end of the day. This is still very early in the season.
We are, of course, into the control now. Not too sure if you guys were able to be on board with the first 30 seconds or so, but we're in here now, and it's been a very, very good start from Obtained and the boys. Obtained and the boys. Boys are attempt. You know what I meant. Either way. Good stuff by Obtained so far. Seemingly having a very, very good defensive hold. Nothing being taken. One tick over towards B. Callum with the kill down low as well. Just waiting for the pushes to come in. Yeah, it's just... For a well-versed team, it seems such an easy setup, doesn't it?
Yeah, getting B is, of course, much, much easier than getting A. You can do it straight away if you're a good enough team. Unfortunately, for Singularity, only 1 point of progression made so far. This is really well done by Obtained to just really squeeze the vice on the Singularity. They're being pushed all the way back into their spawn. There's not really much they can do about it either with 7 seconds left. There is, I don't think, not enough time even to get onto the point as Bidz fall. So that is a very well played round from Obtained to kick things off. But we don't see the start of it, the first 30 seconds. You guys might have done, but we didn't get to see it. And nonetheless, Obtained, great job.
Yep, clean as well. In terms of the respawns, they are comfortably in the favour there of Obtained by the end of the round. And my goodness me, Harry. Fantastic shots there. So, as clean of a round as you would possibly like to see if you are an Obtained fan. Harry 7-1, 5-2 out of Hicksy. Really, really good play on that first defensive round. Now, can they keep it up? Can they find themselves an attack here? Or will SNG probably likely hold the defense as well?
That is the question here, isn't it? As you see now, Singularity on the defense, looking to hold B early on. Callum actually comes in, gets 1 kill over towards B, so that's pretty good. But on board with Maple at the moment, maybe about to set up a spawn trap here for Singularity. If he can get a couple of kills going his way, unfortunately, isn't able to do any damage here as Hicksy spots him out, takes him out of the equation, and Bidz and Denza, while they are able to follow up with a couple of kills of their own, Obtained here, have made their way over towards the B zone. Callum gets that first blood. You need to look in the right direction. Almost snaps onto Denza, but Denza having absolutely none of that. Hicksy makes his way through as well. Denza has his number 2. Singularity dealing with the earlier pressure relatively well.
Push coming on through here once again. Good shots by Connor. Oh my god, he nearly finds the second as well under Detain, but we'll not necessarily talk about him being killed with an SMG from that range. Not for too long anyway, but oh my god, here we go. The kill starting to come on through, so B zone is potentially in the offing here. Trophies down. Sit tight. SNG will definitely have a stab at this one though. 23 seconds remaining, 1 good wipe and you're good to go, but the more they push it, the more they lose lives, which are now below Obtained's. Oh, that's a good play by Hicksy. Patient with the SMG. That should be beat over towards Obtained now. Yep, looks as if SNG are quite happy to give up the ghost on that one. We're moving over towards A. 1 minute and 23 seconds for Obtained to do something here. Over towards this A point, unless SNG can get them off it. Not quite in time. Point is secured now. Singularity have some defensive work to do here over at A.
Good kills being made still inside the storage room. Lives currently, technically speaking, in the favour of Obtained, so they have a couple more lives to work with here as they make this push happen. Now, what Singularity don't want to let happen is Obtained to get in the same position they were against 3G here, where they overextend over towards the back line, and that's why you see Denza on the minimap positioned at the map, making sure that doesn't happen. This is really well played from Singularity so far, and their placement. You can see Obtained here just gearing up to make something work. Unfortunately, Maple having none of it. He picks up 2. Denza are able to follow up with another 1, and now maybe Singularity can get some more map control here. They don't want to push out too far. They're quite comfortable with this line. But Obtained need to make something happen in the next 25 seconds. All their efforts over towards B will be for naught, as it will be a round for a Singularity of Connor. And Callum, though, able to pick up 2. Denza able to pick up 1. This needs to be a great play from Connor. Gets into the control zone. At least it's going to stop the timer here. Maybe earn some time for Obtained to come in from behind.
Oh, there's a chance to do something here. That's 2 big kills from Maple. Can't quite find the third. These respawns, though, are starting to go down. That double kill from Detain might just do it, though. Obtained definitely putting up more fight than SNG did on the attack, but ultimately, that's not really what counts. Control round is going to go over towards Singularity and the defensive side. 7-4 used nice, right?
Defense team's using it.
Good.
When Denza's using it, absolutely, he's having a great time here in this game, getting a few crucial gunfights. Again, it all does count up when you're talking about these control rounds. And, you know, once again, Obtained, they're just in this position where they're really close to making these breaks. I think that was actually probably closer than they've been so far to making that break on towards A, even though there was really little progress made at all. They actually got onto the control point this time. So progress being made here for Obtained as they journey their way into understanding how to break A point here on Garrison control. So far, though, unsuccessful against 3G earlier, unsuccessful here against Singularity.
Denza and Co trying to find the push. Yeah, nobody finding a kill in the round. Just in as Maple turns around and finds one on the Callum. So Singularity, what's the push here? Stun's coming out. Connor answers back, but Bidz and Maple are there. Well orchestrated by Singularity. You feel on that one. They were patient, took their time, and waited for Obtained to make the move. But were they expecting Hicksy from behind? Not quite. Detain's going to find that one. So B progress is still on the cards. Top green control coming in. Never a bad thing to have if you're SNG, and they're keeping them at bay here as well. B is looking good, and that's going to give them an extra minute. Nearly a full 2 minutes if they can keep a hold of this. Have a look at it. Look at the respawns as well there. Comfortably in the side of SNG too, so everything they could possibly want is working in their favor right now. Maple inside of A, just trying to distract a little bit longer. But can Obtain get a hold of B? They're going to probably have one more stab at it. Bidz and Detain holding. Well, how has Detain found that second kill? That is ludicrous. Bidz finds one himself as well, and maybe have obtained a bit off more than they could chew when it comes to defending on this side of things. A is now locked down. There is 4 members of SMG up and pretty much in the half of Obtained.
And this seems to be really the key to breaking this A point, right? You've just got to get members inside the point, and that's exactly what Singularity have. They got 3 players on the point. We've spoken about how proficient this Singularity roster are in control. We spoke about it in terms of that checkmate control, and yeah, you say it, the spawns Obtained. They are just locked into the back. Singularity manipulating this map. Puppet on strings, really. And as Denza and Bidz just continue to clean up every single kill offered up to them. Even a teammate for Denza there, as Bidz is actually going to fall, but Singularity, they do the job regardless. There's nobody from Obtained close, and there it is. How to break A in 30 seconds. Do it like that, Singularity, show it.
I think Obtained's mistake there was having another stare at B. They pushed it with 3 of them and said, okay, well, let's give this one a go. Unfortunately, when you all go down in that scenario, it allows them a free route through towards A. It's such an easy transition over the catwalk, and all of a sudden, Singularity have themselves an attacking round, moving on the defensive side. Obtained weren't too far away from getting something done last time round, but they're going to need to now to stay on the map.
Can Obtained do this here? Of course, we've just seen Singularity take A, so we know it isn't impossible by any means, but as Denza picks up that first kill, Obtained, they need to get something going right off the bat here. Harry and Hicksy, able to pick up 2. Control hole, Hicksy. Put a AK-74U in this man's hands. Hicksy can do anything. He's able to pick up that kill. Progress now being made for Singularity here over towards B. Be careful though for Obtained as they got a player coming from behind. Detain. Nobody is watching this little alcove. He's coming out. He's picked up the first kill. Unfortunately, not the kill you want to take here. Trades being made. Obtained. They're coming out on top, but unfortunately, Harry's going to forward. Sees Callum left alone inside this point. Nobody from Singularity though really there to put a stop to this. It gives Obtained a moment to get back in. A capture just moments away, and that's really, really well played from Obtained right off the bat.
Yep, huge from them, but we do know the hard task is getting a hold of A here. Can they make this push on through? I think the mistake that Obtained made, SNG haven't made that mistake. They didn't go for the late retake. 4 kills towards Obtained there is a different story. We're going to free run through. SNG said, right, we know when to give it up. We sat on back. Let's see if we can defend A for this whole minute and 50 seconds. Respawns are inconsequentially different, I would say. So there's not too much to really write home about. But here comes the smoke, and here comes the push. Who's at the back? It's going to be Denza, and he was only there momentarily. It's a really nice push, but it's good defense so far. Maple. Oh, my goodness me. I mean, it has to be said they line up very, very nicely, but that is accurate. Someone check this man's task manager.
Oh, goodness. Maple, I mean, you say, right? I mean, they do line up, but nonetheless, Maple with an AR, just insane. He can do it with it all, man. Sniper rifle, AR, SMG. Put any gun in Maple's hands. You know, he's the main AR for this roster, and he will do it. And really, right, I mean, that free piece just shuts down the push that Obtained had. I thought for a moment there that really Obtained might have an opening to do what Singularity just did to them, but that seems to have completely been shut on now. A Singularity. 45 seconds left in this half. You have 3 more lives than Obtained. They've got more map control than Obtained too, and you're letting Detain just run around like this. A real problem, I feel, for Obtained so far in this control.
Yeah, he has constantly been around behind, hasn't he? It's causing issues, playing smart. Or if you're Obtained, you need to get somebody inside this control point pretty sharpish. Callum is going to find that kill though, so that's big. He's kind of going to expect Bidz in the corner. No, he is not. Callum's going to go down from behind as well, so there's 2 men left here for Obtained momentarily as the push tries to come on through. Hicksy will find Bidz. Harry will go down. Hicksi's still alive, but not for very much longer. That should be it. That should be the map. That will be the map. Very, very well played from SNG, and this was our worry, wasn't it? The control is looking so good from them in general. Probably the most impressive in Europe so far. Here we go. We get to see it again. There's one. No, Hicksy is there. Oh, no, you've not lined up that. Whoa. All right, Mabel. That was very, very nice.
He has some 2020 vision. I'll say that much, right? I mean, to line it up.
I told
like
you,
that.
check them out. That was ridiculous.
Oh man,
he's just good. He's just good. My goodness.
Yeah, that's one way to describe it.
I mean, the chat said it looked so. I don't think it was so. I don't know, man. I'm not accusing Maple of anything. My goodness,
Maple kind of sus.
That was just.
Well.
Yeah, I ain't saying a goddamn thing. I'm not getting into this. I don't think it looked that sus.
We will not be calling out any players officially. Maple, it's still great free piece from Maple. A really important, I think, for the game overall there for Singularity, right? Because Obtained, they actually kind of looked like they were building some momentum on that push towards control. Maple shut that down just like that. So quick. Really, really well played. I think really defining that, if anything, that control was just that really clean push onto A. And you kind of said it right. The mistake that Obtained made, even though they've looked like one of the better teams here on this map for control, it is just the fact that they went for a second shot over towards that B point, and it was a huge mistake, I think, to make, because it really did split the defense as they made their way over towards that A push. And it's just unfortunate, I think, for them. So 2-1 up our Singularity. They're looking pretty good in this series, and now we go back to Hardpoint, where earlier on they beat out Obtained.
Yeah, it was convincing, and has to be said. I was just rewatching the stream back there to relook at that one, but that was just, I think it was just good shots from Maple. It's just one of those, like, it just twitches on very, very nicely when you already knew he was up there as well. So I don't think there's anything in that there. I'm just calming the storm, so to speak. But yeah, Hardpoint looked very, very good on Cartel. What did you say we're moving over to on map number 4?
I believe it's Crossroads. No, not Crossroads. It's Checkmate. Okay. So Checkmate is going to be the map for map number 4. So I really like this map for Hardpoint. It's kind of a weird one. I think this is going to be the map where your ARs are really going to have to come out to play.
Yeah, I think so, and based on the AR play we've seen in that map specifically, Maple playing very, very well. So if you can continue this on, we are going to, of course, see an SNG win, I would expect. But yeah, the control was very, very good from them. Again, I think that's what people are going to have to break down, if you like, when it comes to breaking this SNG roster down, is that control is looking very, very good at this moment in time. Of course, we do expect control to potentially change as time does go on. But so far, so good for SNG. They were unfortunate to lose the S&D as well. 3v3, bomb down, looking pretty nice. But heading into this map number 4 now, you would be feeling good if you're an SNG. Just changing the lobbies around anyway. But As you can tell, I look very tired today. My goodness, mate. I'm keep trying to tell myself it's just this laptop webcam, but I don't know if I can convince myself that I don't. But we've had some good series since we actually got into casting. Today, I should say specifically. It's been pretty good. The last series was good. Performance from Obtained. This one from SNG has been solid. And of course, we are continuing on tomorrow. I won't be around until the evening. However, I do know that you are soldering on from 1 p.m., which will likely be top 6 from that point, because I'm pretty sure it starts at 11:30 our time.
So losers round 2 is when we'll be kicking off from tomorrow. I believe that I don't think it's 100% yet, but I believe that Austin, aka Visions, is coming in to fill in for you tomorrow. So we'll be having Visions on. We're moving up. We're upgrading from the American that we had last week for grand finals.
I thought you were about to say you're upgrading from me, and I was like, wow, all right.
I would never say that.
I know you would. Not to my face, at least, anyway.
But no, we do have Austin on tomorrow, our fellow Canadian friend making a guest appearance from the North American stream. And while we're here waiting for the next game, I should also say that when we are done here, I believe there is going to be a North American stream currently ongoing, or at least will start very, very soon at twitch.tv/iholdshift. So if you want to check out any of the North American coverage for this second Challengers Cup, you can do so over on that Twitch. So yeah, I mean, so far from North America, things have been pretty good. I think there's been a ton of players making their way down from CDL who unfortunately couldn't grab starter spots this year. So NA comp is looking just as good, if not better, than European comp, and you guys don't want to miss it if you can catch it.
Well, I do believe we're nearly ready to get into this next game, which is what everybody does want to see. You don't want to see me scrolling through Twitter and just talking rubbish and potentially... I don't know. I didn't say anyone was actually hacking. I was just joking.
You're really being cautious about this now, aren't you?
I know. I just don't want to be like, Cast. I call it first thing I read it. Tunn calls out Maple for hacking, and I
it's
swear
a Deserto article.
I swear.
In the making right now. Just to clarify.
No, it was just good shots. I enjoyed it. As if I would have to even clarify that.
Maple does not need to hack. Trust me. We've been following Maple for the past year and a bit. I mean, what was Maple on the 2018 the World War II roster with Tommy at Champs? He wasn't he, with Chain? I think I'm right in saying that.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. So we've been following Maple since way back when. And trust me, he does not need an extra little piece of niceness in his task manager. But regardless, I believe we're going to get into our fourth and what could potentially be our final map in this series. Singularity 2-1 up. Can they close out here on Checkmate Hardpoint? Well, if the first map is anything to go by, that might just be the case. But Obtained, they are not a roster that will let this one go easily.
Absolutely not. And you know, when it comes down to these hard points, we've seen a good performance out of Obtained on this map, but we also seen a good performance out of them on Cartel, and we've seen how that one went. So let's see. Checkmate is a little bit different, of course. I feel as if these rotations are maybe a little bit harder to break on certain hills than some of them on Cartel, which seem a little bit more simple. Just about playing control right now, but Obtained have picked up nearly every single point they possibly could have so far, with 23 to their name. They have spawns if they want them for P2. But Denza is going to find Connor on this break coming on through. Singularity just looking for these trades to come through for them, but Hicksy and Colt are the ones answering back. Harry is there to find the kills as well. They have the rotation over towards P2, and they have 30 points coming out from P1. Very, very good start of the hard point by Obtained.
Yeah, and of course, you know, it's not just getting those 30 points, it's getting the rotations for an extra, as you say. So, Obtained in a great position here early on Checkmate. Harry, unfortunately, is actually just going to run perpendicular with a player. It doesn't work out very well for him, as he does get one before falling. You've got to be careful here if you're Obtained. You've got players coming in from behind. Hicksy has to win this one-on-one engagement. And actually, I don't think it matters, really. Singularity have already got those spawns in from behind. Maple going to spawn up round the back. You can see now we're Obtained spawning in that bottom left of your mini-map, and Singularity very quickly able to flip those spawns in their favor. Really well played from Bidz, just sneaking from behind Hicksy, completely unaware of it. And now this last 20 seconds of time could go Singularity's way.
Good shots by Hicksy, but will be enough to disrupt what Singularity are doing. Not quite. We'll get on the board a decent chunk of time here towards the end. As we head over towards P3, it's all about that playing control and looking towards P4. It's just a circle around the map, isn't it, really? Shot's going to come in, though, and it is Obtained, finding the first couple of kills. It's Craig up top. Doing good work for Connor. He is going to find the kill, but before he does get traded by Maple. But still, I mean, if you're Obtained, you're very happy with your map position here. You're very happy with your control. You're happy with the points you're picking up as well, although momentarily you're picking up absolutely nothing, but the kills in your favor as well. Good shots by Hicksy. This 7-4U, man, I tell you what. Nice with it, but so is the Craig in Bidz' hands. Singularity trading the kills away, but ultimately has been Obtained on top of these kills and on top of these trades. Towards this rotation over towards P4. Looks as if it is going to be, well, nobody necessarily there right now, but the kills are coming in here from Obtained. They should have this locked down. Callum with 3. Obtained seem to have a walk-in.
Stuff from Obtained on this hill here. Take a look at the rotation though, and there they are again. You see Harry inside this hard point. Hicksy, unfortunately, is going to fall, so Harry kind of has to play hero here for a moment, unfortunately. Thinks there's a player in the corner. That is not the case at all here, as Denza are able to win that fight, and now Singularity, they're breaking for the remainder of this time. Got to get some movement over towards the front of that hard point. You do also have the spawns for next, though, to consider as well, if you're a Singularity. And Connor just keeping this laser of a Krig 6. Down sight, takes down Maple. Neither team at the moment getting just time, as I say that. So Obtained able to get some time off the back of this hard point. Singularity, I don't think they're really too bothered about this hard point in the moment. They're more concerned with the spawns for next. However, I say that, take a look at number 1 on the minimap. Harry's actually found his way in behind.
It's a good spot, but he is going to get taken down. SNG not in a terrible spot to get a hold of this one, but keep an eye on Hicksy as well, number 3 on the minimap. Denza's going to pick up this last little bit of scrap, but importantly, I feel as if that's going to shove Obtained just out that little bit further. SNG should be able to dig the trenches in here. It's good, important control coming in here from Bidz and Maple as well. Finding the areas of the map that they need to. Oh, Bidz trying to stand up just a little bit too early there. Kill starting to come through here for Obtained. You would have thought Singularity would be able to hold on to this. Oh, Jesus. Detain, that is disgusting. And Bidz is there to find the 3rd as well. Good hold by SNG so far, and you feel as if they needed about 20 points behind still, but if they can hold on to the rest of this, they'll be good for pretty much level by the time we get over towards the next rotation, but competitive between these two on this map.
Absolutely is so far. Obtained, they are only slightly in the lead over Singularity, and Singularity have really held this game close thus far, but the difference maker really could prove to be inside this plane. You saw on the first set of rotation, Obtained were in the lead, but Denza maybe having something to say about this. Tries to climb up the win. Unfortunately, that doesn't work out. Now he's going to have to go in from behind. Harry there and wait, though, and now you look towards the hill. It's Bidz inside, looking for the first couple of kills. Does get 1. Still Callum to deal with. Of course, Harry is there as well. And Obtained, I think rightfully so, not giving this up and also not being the ones to push this. They know they don't have to. They know they currently have the lead, and they also know they've got control of the map for those next spawns. And here it comes, Singularity. They know they have to force the issue, and here it is. Harry just L-triggering down this line of sight. Bidz able to pick up 2. Maple going to finish up with number 3 as well. And that is a very, very nice break from Singularity. But again, they know their priorities have to be on these spawns for next, and Hicksy is well aware of that as well. He is banked in the back of this map, sitting there with this AR.
Oh, he doesn't find it.
Nah, it's so unfortunate there. And again, exactly the same situation where Singularity, they just overwhelm the player at the back of the map.
Singularity about to take the lead for the very first time in this map. They really have started to flex their muscles ever since P5, where they found that good break. Then they'll find the kill on Hicksy as well. Look at these spawns. 4 Obtained as well. You're quite far away. Singularity are very well dug in, but a couple of kills towards the back. All of a sudden, it turns on its head. Connor pushes through. Should be off. Oh my goodness, Detain finds the kill so fast. Singularity now have been forced away, but they're not far away. Obtained locking this one down. 30 seconds still to play with here on P2.
You You really got to start thinking about the rotations. If you're Obtained sooner or later, yeah, this is quite a nice chunk of time for you to be getting, but still, make some moves over towards that rotation, especially considering where this next hard point is. You need to get to that side of the map at some point in the next 60 to 90 seconds or so. This move might be coming now from Hicksy here as he goes for this flip of the spawns. This is really important, of course, for the late game here on this rotation. Connor going to take down Denza on the heady. And this is really well played, actually, from Obtained in terms of, you know, keeping these spawns together. Callum, again, just disgusting on a 5 spree. And actually, you take a look across the board here. Every single player is on some kind of streak or another. Nobody has died. Finally, Bidz does take down Connor. But nonetheless, this has been a rather nice section of time here from Obtained to get control of this underwing hardpoint, to get control of the map and the spawns for next. You see the flip has already been made. Really well played from Obtained. And, of course, forward thinking, too.
They've done well, haven't they? To get to this point. Oh my goodness. Just backwards and forwards. Neither team really able to establish any sort of control over towards this hill. It is one of those that is difficult to do so. It's all about the setup for the next couple, really, isn't it? Singularity, they'll find the kills towards the end of this hill, which will mean they will find themselves in control of the hill. Good shots by Denza again. I've been stupidly impressed with Denza. I think Detain sort of really takes all the plaudits, if you like, but right now, 13 and 22 out of him, 17 and 21 out of Denza. If you were to say on a pure statistical standpoint, Denza is having a better game, but he's just impressed me with his consistency in this SNG lineup. Well, Obtained, I managed to keep a hold of this hill now and should be able to lock this one in, really. Bidz and Cole taking over control of the plane, and that's just to get control over towards P5. This is nice movement from Denza, though. Very well played. They will break this, and now they make the push to get a hold of P5.
And I think, yeah, that's the important thing there, right? You talk about these spawns for next. Singularity have just managed to grab them. And for a moment, you actually talk about stats, right, across this game. And actually, you take a look at the slaying across the board. Obtained are outslaying Singularity by a small margin, right? I mean, they are essentially winning this on kills at the moment. But still, Singularity doing a great job to keep it relatively close. They now have the spawns for new as well. And if Singularity win this, despite being outslayed, it will be an upset for a roster like Obtained. But they still need to do it on this hardpoint. Hicksy gets inside the hardpoint. Unfortunately, isn't able to hold it for that long as Detain takes him down. Maple and Bidz are there for the support kills as well. Singularity looking to get this time off this hardpoint, and now they're inside. Denza on the underwing has been a problem of late. In the last couple of hardpoints with that SMG, a problem that Obtained to deal with, and Harry with these socks, man. I thought he was going to get the player out the back of red there, but it doesn't happen. Connor and Callum able to come on through. Obtained. They are not giving this one up. Singularity, they're keeping it very, very close.
Smokes down for Denza to try and get out of here once this time does tick on down. Staying alive as well, so it is about this rotation over. Good shots by Bidz once again, really adapting into this flex role, hasn't he? Shots going on through, he should be flanked and should be killed, but where's the rest of the team? Are the trades going to be able to come on through? Not quite. Hicksy and Harry combining well. They can win it here. Denza just challenging one more time. 46 seconds to play with. SNG, do you need to at least contest this? They're thinking about spawns over towards P2, but I do believe they need to think about what's going on here inside the hill as well. Oh, they haven't got in at all here. Everybody from Singularity keeps on dropping before they even get anywhere near, but now it is contested. Denza doing his best to stay alive. All of a sudden, that one is not now possible to win on if you are Obtained. Denza's done so well. He's actually getting time as well. He's just chucked down all that time that Obtained they're trying to keep a hold of. Now we're going to pick up some scrap of their own, but look at this rotation over towards P2. It fully belongs to Obtained here. Which way are these gunfights going to go? Bidz finds one towards the back, but does actually manage to take down Maple. It's all about these next few gunfights this game.
This is so huge. Of course, Singularity, I mean, the last two rotations, they are able to break on in. Round the back, they're able to maintain the spawn. Detain. They seem to have learned their lesson. They have to go. Singularity. They need to get inside this hard point. Obtained doing such a spectacular job of holding on. They do enough. And a key difference there in those closing moments for Obtained, really. The fact that they learned their lesson. Third time's the charm. They did not give up the spawns to Singularity. And of course, coming in with just 20 seconds left of the game. Really, it does help quite a bit.
Oh, I'm feeling my age right now. My goodness me. Anyway, are we? I mean...
Oh, no, that's true. Oh, dang it.
So we don't get to see a map number 5 between these two teams, but we're going to find ourselves there anyway. I'm personally going to make the call of that I am going to bed. I'm not sitting here watching the scoreboards and chatting shit with you anymore. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we will just have the scoreboard up for everyone at home. I know that you guys are probably fed up with us talking about Marvel and whatever we.
Well, we haven't done that. We haven't done that for a while. To be fair,
yeah,
I still think the whole Lord of the Rings thing is probably one of the most shocking things I've heard. And there is one of the most shocking things I've heard about casters, and I mean, there's been some doozies the past year. So I think, you know, you need to fix that.
I'll fully level with you. I'll fully level with you. That entire thing, I just said it to annoy you.
No, you. Not really.
Yeah, absolutely. I know you know I have some bad takes, so I just thought that.
But you have seen Lord of the Rings, then, yeah.
No, I haven't seen Lord of the Rings, but it's not like it's not like I don't want to watch it. Is the I will watch it at some point. So
I hope so. Okay.
Never fear.
You did. You've had 21 years on this planet and you still haven't found the time. I mean, how you're busy? Your life isn't that busy. You're a Call of Duty caster.
But I have watched Chicken Little at least 5 times as a kid. So
that should just be a good time to end the stream from a commentary perspective. We're going to head over towards Garrison and Search and Destroy, where we will be watching the scoreboard. But at this point, we can't cast it. So I mean, it might as well be time for bed. I mean, even said right here that I look tired. So I mean, I'm like shit on the stream. Holy hell! Anyway, we're going to end it there. Thank you very much to everybody who has been hanging out. We will leave you with the rest of the Search and Destroy. Brodie will be back here on the channel at 1 p.m. ish. I do believe is whenever games become available in and around that time. And then we will be there for the rest of it. And I will be coming in around 6 or 7 if you just want to wait until then. It is fully excusable. But if you want to watch some Call of Duty throughout the day, of course, it is going to be live on this channel from 1 p.m. So thank you very much to everybody who did hang out with us tonight. We'll leave you with the rest of the Search and Destroy, or at least the scoreboard, at least anyway, between these two teams. Of course, one of these will drop into the losers bracket. We'll see them again tomorrow. You guys again tomorrow as well. Check it then.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the stream. Apologies for the lack of cast for the final search and destroy, but nonetheless, there you have your result. Team Singularity going through to the top 6. Unfortunately for Obtained, once again, they just couldn't best Team Singularity in the game 5. So down to losers bracket, they go where they could potentially make a run. But that's going to be it for today's stream. Thank you to everybody for tuning in. It has been, once again, an incredible amount of support, and I expect to see it even get better during tomorrow's Sunday stream. For those interested, we're going to be starting from 1 p.m. GMT. I think we're in GMT now. 1 p.m. GMT. So make sure you are here once again on this Twitch. Make sure you can follow this Twitch so you know when we do go live. So 1 p.m. that's going to be when Visions and I are going to be able to cast tomorrow's games. Thank you to everyone for tuning in. We now have the North American stream, I believe, about to kick off, if it already hasn't, over at twitch.tv/iHoldShift. So if you still haven't had your thirst for hunger satiated here on the European stream of Challenges content, you can go get it over on the North American stream. But again, thank you all for watching, and we'll see you guys tomorrow.